We never worked in the same branch after we left Hughenden, except when Hayward was part of the inspection team, and I was still in Killam then, and he came around with the senior inspector to do the books. Well, I was boarding with his mother, and so we had a chance to get together then, but we didn't see a lot of one another. Well, then I decided, after I moved to the Killam branch to the Bank of Montreal, that was still not where I wanted to be. So I transferred to Edmonton because I wanted to further my music education. So he was at that time in Edmonton too. But by the time the transfer came on for me, he had been transferred out of Edmonton. And so in due time, in 1936, we decided that the bank had better smarten up and give us permission to get married, because in those days they wouldn't let their employees marry until they were earning, was it $100 a month or something like that? That was what you had.
$1,500 a year.
$1,500 a year, yes. You couldn't get married unless you were earning that. So,
was that your combined income?
No.
That would be...
You weren't. No, they wouldn't let their female employees stay on after you were married. That was unheard of. So we struggled with $1,500 a year. Thankfully, every once in a while we'd get a Christmas bonus of $50. That was great.
So what sort of living quarters did you have then after you were married?
Well, in some of the branches we were in, there were living quarters over the bank, and they were there primarily for single staff members. But and sometimes the manager would decide that he wanted them. So, but if he didn't, then we would have the use of the living quarters. Of course, there was no plumbing, no running water. It was, and we lived over the bank. It wasn't the greatest, but it was a place to live.
It was cheaper.
It was cheap too. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we got to a branch with running water until we were ready to retire.
So now this $1,500 a month, how would that...
A year.
Or a year, I'm sorry, yes. How would that compare to most of the people in these small communities? Were bank managers well paid comparatively?
No.
Or?
No.
No, but we were very well thought of. They had to like us because we were handling their money.
Yeah. But you were not highly paid compared to other people?
Oh, no. Everybody was in the same boat. You know, that was during the Depression. Everybody was poor. We didn't think we were poor, but we learned to make a nickel go a long way. I remember when I first started housekeeping, I had to be very careful. I had $5 a week for the groceries. And I was careful and allowed us 10 cents a day for meat.
And what could you buy with 10 cents?
A couple of chops. Mm-hmm. We had a small car, which Hayward had bought against everybody's wishes because they thought he was just too extravagant. And we allowed ourselves $5 a month for gas. Once the $5 worth was used up, we didn't move the car.